GV2 consisting of low voltage and Ventura, and we have Rubicon consisting of Mobbin or GGMOBBIN and Jakechaboy. It's Ventura. I can't invite him because he's in free mode or story mode. They've joined. They're good. Let me just quickly message Crane. Right, there we go. Right, there we go, we're back. Apologies for the blue screen there, ladies and gentlemen. Just needed to let Crane know he was good to get in and spectate as well. He will be providing some French commentation. I will share the channels of those that are streaming their perspective Chrome as well. We've got Mobbin, Lleyzi, Dav and Albo. How's everybody doing? And everybody else tuning in as well. Nice to see it again. We'll run through the teams again. We have low voltage. That is Lleyzi and Ventura taking on Rubicon. That is GGMOBBIN and our Australian brother Jakechaboy. I hope you're looking forward to it. I'm doing very well, thank you, Alabo. The tracks tonight, they're starting with High Love. They're getting the custom in early because of the rain and the track not being set to bright weather. Then we're on to Noctali Toys from Low Voltage, rotating through to Rubicon on Galaxy Stunt, Sour Patch, H200 remake through the city, and H400. And it's rotating back and forth, starting with after the custom stunt low voltage into Rubicon, back and forth, low voltage, Rubicon, ba 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 ba. Now, let me see if Lleyzi is up. Not Lleyzi or Crane. Don't think he is just yet. Oh, he is. Oh, Crane is in, yeah, he's in, and he's spectating on Lleyzi, perfect. Bonjour, Crane. Grab your stream. Copy and paste. Good luck to both teams. So many customs from Albo, and good luck both teams from Alex. Yeah, a lot of customs today. These guys do like the fire. Hello, critics. Good day, you bloody wanker from Sick. You're alright, me old geezer. Been tossing a monkey. Okay. With comms. Hello, Crayon. See, Mobbin just saying, just waiting a little bit on Jakechaboy. Is just rolling on 6 in the morning. But, well, lad, it's a little bit early. Although, as far as I've seen, he's been up a little while. Jake asleep, hugging his pillow. And while we are just doing that little way, I am just gonna get that shared around into some of the stunt chats, the stream that is. I can't do it off that app though, Jesus Christ, I wish it would let you share to PlayStation. Windows open again. There we go. Good luck all from H-Bomb and Gucci. Good luck to both teams. I hope everybody's doing wonderfully well. It's a mighty fine evening to get your custom stunt racing on. Yeah, if Jake's just loading in and stuff, there's no need to... Because you can just invite him to the race lobby. Yeah, it's like I'm in no specific rush mobbing, so I don't mind. Just get all in your own time, as Jake's here. No pressure, laddo. There's enough pressure racing against these sweaty mothers. Bump, dump, bump, dump, 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 dump. You think he could be asleep? We'll keep waiting. Like I say, there's no rush. Give him like 10-15 minutes. We've done worse with Lleyzi. I think there was one where he kept us waiting 20 odd minutes. And he did I think a poo or something, I'm not sure. And then there is still plenty of time to be able to rearrange it if need be for next weekend. There's that, copy this. Let's have a... I did see him on earlier. It was in a private session. So we may have a sleeping Aussie on our hands, but we are going to give it a go. Mobbin's going to try inviting everybody to the lobby. Apparently there's no translation on the race, but this is higher love. Hello, Pinky. Nice. Oh, Pinky, nice upload, lad. Good share in the chat, fella. I'm going to get that saved for now and get back to my chat. That's in my watch later category. Best of luck for both teams. At the moment, we're wishing that Jakechaboy is not showing up online anymore. Oh no, he was just a second ago. Now, people do understand that there's sometimes a bit of a wait. Call him on Discord mobbing. That's a suggestion. Might just buzz in his ear and wake him up then. Jake? No. Just connects you to a call, it doesn't even ring. It is very early for Jake, as we mentioned. It is 6 AM for Jake. You did think he'd be alright doing it, but maybe work and that got to him a bit through the week. I know Lleyzi can't do too much later tonight from what he was saying, but I'm sure they'll be quite flexible to be able to do a rain delay with them, with you doing the extension for next weekend anyway now. Jake smashing that Happy Meal from H-Bot. I could only imagine trying to understand Jake's morning voice though. Oof, I'm sick. He's deep enough at the best of times, isn't he, Sick? He steps this, is stuck. I think he needs help then. I better give him a hand. Oh, Sick offering to step in for you, mobbing. Alex guessing that Jake is talking to a Russian girl. You're saying he's cheating on his missus? He's got 2 kids, hasn't he? I hope he's not. Let me quickly... answer. You're asking where Jake is. Lleyzi saying if it starts raining because Jake being late during this track, him and Ventura should be awarded first and second. Out of the goodness of Mobbins and Jake's heart. Yeah, still something to raise. Can be a warm-up for a full-on sweat warm-up. Ventura, Jake, there is a chance that Mr. Jakechaboy could be fast asleep. With it being I know he did say he'd be available, but it is very early. Mobbin's going to, if he is not available, but I would be up for commentating like a full-on 1v1v1 like friendly thing here for now if you want a bit of a extra warm-up on the tracks for when it does go ahead. No, just me too. They're going brutal on you, Mobbin. They ain't. They're fully in team mentality. I do like it. I have to say, I've got respect. Forfeit, thank you guys. GG. So I'll take both of you from Mobbin. Sick, what are you up to? Alex? I can replace him. Oh, Crane's saying he can step in. Lleyzi's just dropped out. Oh, Alex not home. Are you with a girl, Alex? Sect, no, we're on PlayStation here, unfortunately, today. I do race occasionally and stuff on PC, and there are quite a few members of the community around on PC, so we'll drop the Discord in the chat before I do anything else. Wait, I don't know. So, what, like a 1v1 and then a 1v1? Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's fine. You can have a sub. But, yeah, that's fine as well. If he's available and these guys are down for replaying it, I'd say that then is down to a chat between the two teams. Like, if Ventura and Lleyzi have the time to do it, you can replay it with Jake. But yeah, there's nothing against having a substitution when you need one, sort of thing. So there's no reason why Crane couldn't step in. And then that could be the standing result if Jake hasn't got the availability in the week or the weekend. I'll grab that link, so I am sharing the Discord into the chat. Community Discord. And it's the Stunt Racing Community Discord, not my community. That's it. So if you do want to get in touch with a few of them, there's people like Unholy and all that sort of stuff there. And they're regularly on PC. We've got Lleyzi being invited back. Crane will just be getting himself unstuck from the clouds to free himself up from racing. Well, sick, we have Crane stepping in as a substitution. Lleyzi just noticed that Jake's online in an activity. Hello, Dennis, how you going, fella? apologies for the slightly slow start. We have found a slight workaround, so we've got some racing happening, and like we've just discussed, it will replace the result should Jake's availability not be good for later in the week. This will be the standing result. We have Crayon stepping in very, very last minute. He was just sat on the commentary table on the French side of it. Just a little COVID blocking screen between us. Yeah, like I always say, Mobbin, it's all on you guys. We're here sat waiting and watching. There's nothing more from us. I'll start my commentary as the racing starts. If it starts, who you all got winning this? Well, I have it as very tight. Even with Crane stepping in late notice, I know he has been running the tracks. He did a stream yesterday, running all the custom tracks. It's not like he doesn't know these races. And yeah, I think that's what me and Mobbin just sort of worked out, is if Jake doesn't have the availability or it doesn't match up with your availability next week, Ventura, then this result can stand, sort of thing, and Jake can step back in if it's gone their guy's way and all that sort of stuff. Hugely appreciate Hypnotics, as he's now known as on the stunt racing scene, but that is our boy Crayon. And yeah, Lleyzi's not going to have too much freedom next week because of exams and stuff, but he might have a bit of time. There is Mobbin, good to go. Quick run through the tracks again. We are starting with Higher Love, then we're on to Low Voltages, a selection, Noctali, Rubicon's Galaxy Stunt, Sour Patch from Low Voltage, H200 Remake from Rubicon, Through the City, Low Voltage's final pick, and H400 from Rubicon. Should be, in my eyes, a really, really good match. Is Crayon has stepped in very late moment for a sleeping Jakechaboy. He's likely asleep with a rubber band around his control doing the Peter Griffin job, levelling up. Earning enough money for the next paint job. But the racing about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. We are not too far away from the action. You see it 4x4 pulling down the road, it's disappeared. Yep, not a problem, Mobbin. I'll see you in a little bit. Yeah, it's very, very early for Jakechaboy. It's like 20 past 6 in the morning, so I'm not, there's no blame assigned. He just couldn't quite get himself up this morning to play. But Crayon very nicely subbing in, so we have got what will be the result should they not be able to replay the match, with Jake being available potentially next weekend or later in the week because Lleyzi's got exams, etc. They will be doing a 20-second wait. Mobbin triangle. I think Mobbin forgot initially. He got too excited. So yeah, if Jake's availability can't match up with Ventura's and Lleyzi's next week, Crayon's result and Mobbin's result this week will stand. So this does count. This result will count should availabilities with Lleyzi having exams, all that sort of stuff, different weekend, next weekend, the time zone does make it a little bit difficult, so the result would stand in that scenario. But they will be able to replay the match if everything lines up, in which case this then becomes a friendly. But for now, it's 100% competitive. Crayon with the lead. You see Mobbin trying to shift himself fully into second, pushing up to first with his new teammate Crayon. Crayon is just in the lead. Crayon, don't sell from Alex. Don't put the pressure on him. I think he is still streaming. Go over and show him a little bit of support to support your boy Mobbin. We are going to move just a touch further back. We will sit with... Oh, it's close. Lleyzi coming in nice and hot there, taking second place. We are going to shift to third. Mobbin had a bit of a wonky line in the tube, has fallen down to fourth. It sees Lleyzi, Crayon and Ventura picking up a place, and Ventura coming into the second half or second section of the track. Hot on Lleyzi's ass. Mobbin did lose some speed there at a very unfortunate time. Ventura has bricked off the side of the tube there. That could cause a potential replay should that massively affect thingy. I don't think he'll be too far behind Mobbin at the moment. They are basically neck and neck. As Crayon looking to try and close the gap back to Lleyzi. Lleyzi taking the section ahead. In nicely through the tube, takes his tube exit nice and clean, straight as you like, landing just over the curbs. Yes, congratulations to Palm Racers, that is Nicox and Fatnik for progressing through last night, and lucky to its Tyrese. Did put in a very admirable performance, but clearly that little bit of extra practice at the moment, experience from Fatnik and Nicox paying dividends. Tyrese maybe spreading a little bit thinly across multiple disciplines as well. Lleyzi is taking the lead by a little bit of a way. We are going to step back in a second to Mobbin. We are in a good safe place to do that, I believe. I don't think there's any places I could cause a brick there, just for now. Ventura, we did end up on, yeah, closing the gap on the Crayon here. Ventura, nice and low exit across the curbs, nice and smooth. Pulling through the corners. Lleyzi is holding the way, holding his nerve. Takes the ramp clean. The other guys taking the ramp skip. It looks like all three getting it nice and clean. Looping from Crayon and Ventura. It does seem to gain a time there on Mobbin. All three smooth into the tube off that little awkward jump up into it. Tyrese lost on purpose. I need him to handle my light work, as in, I'm guessing you're talking about Mystic and Wannabe Me there. I know they are very much, Wannabe Me and Mystic Nova, very much looking forward to that match, and I know Tyrese was saying he was looking or wanting a 1v1 again with Nova, so a good place for that to go down. And as I know all you guys are better than me. Like, there's not really a lot you need to prove to a lot of people other than yourselves here and there. Like, as long as you don't go home or, you know, away from the game unhappy, that's what it's all about, really. It is a game. As competitive as we are, there needs to be that little slight disconnect from taking it so seriously. It absorbs everything. Mobbin is just creeping up in second, taking the corner very cleanly, gaining some good time. Ventura closing on Crayon as well for stepping in as late as he's done here, doing magnificently well. Wasn't expecting to be racing. Ventura is going a little bit heavily to the left. He has caught the checkpoint there. Very nice from Ventura, able to line up for the tube. Doesn't go with the loop this time. He's going with the low boost line on the tube, just going to stick to it and know that it will seem good in the long run. And you can see it is closing up again, taking a nice sharp line there. Nice smooth line from Crayon and Mobbin, but he definitely closed up some time on the mid and back half of that tube on both Crayon and Mobbin. Ventura really looking to help that teammate, well, help his teammate out in Lleyzi. These three again taking the cut. Ventura's is a very clean. Crayon was safer and a bit higher. That did see him fall behind, but Ventura so clean. Did manage to just pass by Mobbin there. Really still not too much in it. I don't want to swap too close to any tube exits. We can hear Mobbin's engine getting real close. Mobbin gaining, it's gonna be tight. Ventura getting some boost on the back end of the tube. I don't know where to go or sit. I don't want to move. Lleyzi's had a mistake somewhere, lost some time, maybe a bit of a slide or a barrier bash. And that is seeing Crayon and Mobbin, or Ventura and Mobbin, right up his back end really. Not too much pace time between them. Little bit of lag displaying, showing some flips from Ventura. The gap maintains that he developed through the tube. Oh, and it is a tight 1-2. Mobbin nearly throwing himself into the mix. And I have to say, Crayon, for how late you've come into this, lad, that really, like, these guys have had a little warm-up here and there. You might be coming into it that touch a bit colder. But, boy, did you do all right then, lad. That really wasn't too shabby at all. Let me just change that up as well. So it is 27-18 at the moment. Tyrese loses, he's not mates anymore. He's getting slandered in the party every time he joins. Well, that is the thing. When you talk, you need to follow it up a bit, don't you? So, like, you'll need to pull off something in either, like, the pros v pros or getting the 2v2 against Nova and winning. And, like, he's got that potential, but, you know, he also might let it slack somewhere because his focus drops. Low voltage is going to be LV in the chat on 27-18 from Ruby. And that's just so it all shows up on the pinned message part. However, if it's too long, it doesn't show on. We're on to Noctali Toys. Let me just pull up that football match again. Still 1-0. God, I do want Chelsea to do it. I don't want the noisy neighbours to win. Hello, Rescue. Are you going, fella? Horns are honking. GTAV's the license plate on Crayon. There will be the 20-second wait as they all just line up mobbing and no jumping it this time. Good lad. Jesus Christ, I swear it ended up being a 30-second wait last time because of that. No, Jake is very much asleep. So Crayon is stepping in as a sub in case the match is unable to be rearranged. This will be the result. Crayon with a nice wheelie start goes into first and pulls on through the corner. Yeah, Jake's not been able to get himself up. Crayon really smooth. Clearly that streaming session helped out. Nice puts. If you want to share the link in the chat as well, get on that. There's nothing against my subs sharing stuff at all and my mods. Especially, always feel free to share your links. Ventura and Mobbin cleanly in to the jumped wall ride. Crayon, it looked like Mobbin got slightly hung up, had to take the hairpin. Lleyzi got it, but had to go on to the wall ride after Crayon correcting the car. Really nice in the air. Lleyzi giving him a honk of satisfaction there, enjoying his French compatriot pulling the car round and staying in the race. That is potentially another option, but I think they'll just continue with this playlist and try and rearrange it another day because Lleyzi's not got too much time available tonight either. I think he's spending the evening with his lady friend. What are the gaps behind? Crayon not too far behind. We did spend a bit of time with Crayon last race. We'll sit with Lleyzi for just now. We missed a lot of his race. He led the way. We'll sit and apply a little bit of that thick ass YouTube pressure to our man Lleyzi as he comes through the completion of his first lap. That will be 2:35, so down to a 2:15.8. Really clean stuff, nice on the braking point and across the curbs, really clean. You can see Mobbin and Crayon not too far back at all, battling away. We are going to shift back just after they come through that wall ride. Don't want to put either of them off, and we will go have a little look at this battle between the two of them. Ventura, it appears, has fallen just a little way behind. Is getting a little bit late for himself. He's only just, right, he's coming through the corner now, so there's not too much between them. You can see there was 5 seconds though on the line. These two really close together. Crayon does seem to have extended out to about a second mark. Crayon taking the hairpin, Mobbin clean into the wall ride, comes off a little wonky, corrects the car in the air nicely to land nice and smooth and out of the coast to coast. Crayon out of it cleanly behind him as well. Through the ramp skip onto the boost. Crayon as well, just losing a little bit of time on that ramp skip as Mobbin tries to chase down Lleyzi. You can just see him coming through that drop down wall ride here. The car lined out trying to collect a bit of boost off the wall. Riding a slightly wonky entrance very nicely. Trilsy. Vicious Trilsy. Half of you don't know what female touch feel like. Half of them are like 13. Oh, Crayon a little bit too much speed through the corner. caught the curb as well, just clipped him up onto two wheels. That was really unfortunate stuff. Now, the gap does appear to be quite big there, but again, that isn't insurmountable. Ventura's just made up a little bit of ground himself, not too far behind Mobbin. He has got that best lap to 12.749 from Ventura, 216.563 from Lleyzi to the 216.9. Creighton, unfortunately, with that mistake, 226. I say mistake, it was more just the way the wheel kicked up off the curb, a bit too aggressive across the curb. Is a mistake, but more of an unlucky one, going in that little bit too early. Ventura carrying the speed around nicely, but getting a heavy, unlucky bash off the wall. Big brake boosts coming in clutch though as he closes in on Lleyzi and Mobbin. Smooth as you like off the wall ride from the three, low as you like from Mobbin, and closing in on Lleyzi. Slightly higher on the ramp skip from Mobbin. Lleyzi and Ventura take it clean, and undercut from Ventura sees him up to second place. Into this drop down wall ride again, taking it nice and clean. The front end just kicking up a bit of dust. Lovely coast to coast. Lleyzi able to play it that touch safer, just coming up a little bit higher, making sure he clears the track. Ventura going in very aggressively for the cut, takes it. The bounce off the wall though is just going to allow Lleyzi to hold a position. You knew he'd got that little bit of time back to second or third and fourth, and able to have a little bit of a risky fight with his teammate. The respawn though would have done some damage if he'd have needed to. Very nice from Ventura. Got a little bit unlucky with the car, where the car bounced off the wall. But that is another 1-2 for the guys. Lleyzi taking first, Ventura second. I think it's Mobbin third. Oh, big flick from Mobbin. Almost making it to the checkpoint, but not quite crossing it over the wall. Showing potential new skip there. And then we're just looking to see, because didn't quite get to see the points there from Crayon. Fingers crossed he did get the finish. He did. That is 8 points for Crayon. No big points lost so far. That is 54 to 36 in low voltage's favour. We have seen bigger swings than this, though, so it is in no means over yet. Hello, Nako. Kanako back. There we go. Are we going? Hope doing very well, fella. I like how I came back and no one says anything. I laughed at it and said that, well, no, because they're all like 13. So that's why half of them haven't touched a woman yet. We are on to Galaxy Stunty Stunt. This is the track Mobbin has the record on with the GTO. But knowing the rest of these guys, they won't be too far off the pace. Then, having to get through Lleyzi. And I know I haven't commentated on you, but I have commentated on an awful lot of your racetracks. Now go back. So I'm going to make you a moderator, lad. I know you're part of the extended community through Ventura and Fat Boy and all of that. And your tracks, I have to say, are very, very, very creative. I love the flow on them. All nicely inside each other. Crayon missing at the start a little bit, maybe not quite. Understanding it's 20 after the first race. Or having a slight look down, he seems to have regained a little bit of time, carrying good boost over the ramp. No worries, fella. Oh, mobbing off the barrier hard. Does see Ventura up into first. Lleyzi not too far behind. Crayon now with the weight of the world on his shoulders. We are going to stick with it just until through this cut, and then we might just move on forward to Lleyzi. Let these two fully settle into the race. Ventura nice and low. Lleyzi plays it a little safer. Carrying the pace. Nice over the curbs. That long brake boost streak coming off the back of the car. Collects 3 of them in a row. This is that 4th one though, unfortunately. Did get the squeal, so he wouldn't have lost as much time off just a standard braking point. Struggling to get the car slowed down perfectly for the corner. Tiny little slide. Nice into the tube, really not losing. Lleyzi going with a double loop philosophy there, trying to gain the whip down around the tube. It does appear to be losing some time on the Crayon here. Goes up for the cut through the tube ramp, past the tube ramp, nice and tidy. Crayon pulling out of the tube, a little bit softer than Lleyzi, but carrying the speed clean. You can see the distance did grow ever so slightly. We are just going to stay here for now. Ventura is clean away at the moment, clearly pushing nice and hard on the track. Skipping the ramp, not able to quite pull the cart round. Pulling on through the loop though, in the tube, through the cut. Lleyzi holding position down the tube as well, nice and tidy. Mobbin does appear to be pulling himself back up a little bit. Crayon nice and smooth off the barrier. It did show a little bit of a lag spike for a second. Lovely, lovely stuff there from Crayon. Holding his throttle nicely through the corner, just letting the car coast as he turns. Comes across to the other side of the track to Lleyzi, a little bit further out of the tube. Mobbin is regaining some of that lost time. I don't think there's going to be any DNF. You can see Ventura not far off, passing underneath the gap there. Lleyzi looking to try and extend a little bit over Crayon. Crayon again doing fantastically well for how late he stood in. I'm guessing he'd have come in a little bit colder than he would have done for an event. Taking a little bit of that pressure off as well. Is it just allowing him to just drive? Nice clean performance so far from Crayon. No big mistakes costing big point deficit. Here comes Mobbin. He'll be gaining on the guys at the front as well. lag spike, and Crane able to follow him through the tube line, gets across nice and early, brake boosting nicely off the curb, sees Crane take the position back. Slight encouragement from his teammate gaining on him. Has just seen him gain an extra few horsepower. Mobbin onto that tube ball, pulling through the tube line, nice and clean. Mobbin taking the ramp, Crane choosing not to. Looked even. I'm not going to lie, it didn't look like Crane gained, it didn't look like he lost anything, but Mobbin slightly smoother through the tube, slightly better knowledge, paying off, but Crane regaining the 222.9. Crane really unlucky, does come off the barrier. We are going to go forward. We will sit with Mobbin. Hey new boys, how you going fella? Been a little while my man. Oh, the barrier there, really not nice. To Mobbin, just completely ate the car alive. You could hear the honk of horn and the brick on exit. Now that did look like a bit of a flat place. We will just double check on the stream. And Mobbin unfortunately just clipping platform. I always feel so bad when it's on the swap. We are going to move fully forward and we'll go spend the rest of this lap out with Ventura. Smoothly through the tube, takes the ramp skip. 22.9 is the best lap from Mobbin, 25 from Ventura, 26 there from Lleyzi, 27.2 from Crane. Again, considering, no, it is a weird place. It's like it can, like sometimes when I swap between, it can cause a slight little drop in frames, and that potentially can cause, I guess it could cause a slightly more opportune brick moment. It was on the flat bit of the barrier from Mobbin. Crane did just get caught on that first little gap. But yeah, Mobbin just got all sorts of hung up in the barrier as Ventura does cross the line. Mobbin was really moving as well. There was a big gap between the two, but I would understand if he maybe does put forward a request to have that one replayed. Oh, Galaxy Stunty Stunt from Unholy. Yeah, it was. How you going, Unholy, my man? That's a very quick score. I need to pause that on. Oh, there's up again. That's fine. Yeah, yeah, I saw that, Mobbin. I double checked it on stream just to make sure it wasn't a barrier gap as well, and no, so I said I wouldn't be surprised if that was, yeah, 20, like you were properly moving, like there was a big gap still left between you, but like it's not, it wouldn't have been surprising either to see you catch up potentially with the speed you were carrying, because you were a good like 2 or 3 seconds quicker a lap. So like that's when you can, like, I can back that up. It wasn't a barrier gap, it was just on a flat. You was smoothly on the barrier, you'd already come across off it, and then it seemed to stop you dead, in my eyes. But on that last lap, yeah, on that last lap, there's no doubt there was no barrier gap there. It's like you'd come off the barrier and then it seemed to get you stuck to it again and almost pull you into it as you came off it. Yeah, no worries, Mobbin. Mobbin heading back into game chat. Get back into sweat mode. Let me just get scores in chat, keep you guys up to date. It is 81 to low voltage to 54 from Rubicon. Apologies there, got a little bit of frog in the throat. I forgot to update it in between the last two races as well. There we go, pin that to the top this time. Now, on the mention of coming back, this is a sour patch. It's a track I've been putting some nice time into myself. Ventura has got the record, or Randos, one of the two, 30. I haven't been too far off it for my standard at 33. Very happy with for now. Looking to try and push that down a little further, a bit closer. It is a wonderful track, the flow of it very nice. Lleyzi leading the way at the moment. Crayon, not knowing the track very well, does suffer with a bit of a brick there off the front left, as Mobbin has pulled himself up into the battle for second, getting a really nice loop boost there. Just started to pull away from Ventura and starting to close up on Lleyzi here. Going for and chasing the brake boost. We heard the squeal does appear to have initially been pulling from Ventura, but Ventura very nice and consistent on. Oh, Mobbin! That was clean. Flat as you like, out of the tube. Oh, did Lleyzi clip? Oh, just come off a little early. That does see this battle get really tight now for first to third. Lleyzi just a little further back. We'll go here, catch all three of them, pulling down through the tube. Really nice. Ventura maybe loop the other way, gaining loop and tube boost now. Oh, tube exit was easy. Oh God, not this track. What do you mean, oh God, not this track? This is one of my favourite tracks that have been made recently. No offence to any of the others, they are very good. This is just a standout for the flow that I like. Lleyzi, oh, just turning a little bit early on landing there, just as the car kicked up. Takes that cut really nice though, getting straightened out, catching a brake boost these two will have missed. Not taking them bumps, and that did close up some of that loss of time. A really nice recovery cut from Lleyzi. Crayon not too far at all behind, both, all three going low over the tube. Lleyzi's going for the boosts, going for the brake boost off the curb a little bit. Just testing a line, seeing if it is potentially any quicker, or feeling he needed to get the revs reset and back up a little bit. Oh, it could be lag, it looks like. Ventura did come off, he did go down and into the wall ride. Just in the steering a little bit too sharply, has seen Crayon. I believe it's seen Crayon up to third. Ventura having lost a lot of time off that wall ride. Lovely and clean over the curb. Running nice and low, just not taking as much airtime there as Mobbin. That might allow him to close down, collecting a brake boost or two over the curbs. Little feather of the throttle as he comes to the peak of the jump, trying to catch a bit of the downward slope. Nice and tidy through the tube. Lleyzi really looking to try and close in on Mobbin. Mobbin taking some pace though. 57.224 would go down to the 37 from Ventura. Would be the best lap so far on the first lap. Apologies for the notifications, I should have turned them off before the beginning of the stream. Blocking off that top corner of the stream there. Mobbin, Lleyzi just taking it nice and low again. Mobbin carrying his speed a little bit further and longer, but a bit more height in the jump. Ventura is back up into third. Coming through that, cut himself and Crane not too far behind. Looks like one of the two had a little tumble or a couple of barrels. He's heading, or I think he's heading through that corner. Whoa, car trying to slide from Lleyzi. Slightly wonky angle, but he's adjusted it and made it nice. 234.122 from Mobbin. There's the brake boost just as you come out of that turn. Little triple tap of the horn from Lleyzi. Hey, Bolid, how you going, fella? Coming through the line in the tube. Mobbin is holding his lead. Lleyzi not able to get down to the track quite as early as Mobbin there. That is going to allow Mobbin better track positioning out of the tube. Well, the wall ride, sorry, the tube. My brain is a little bit fried. Yeah, Chelsea won. All the Man City boys are crying, lads. They're all crying. Mobbin's lost some pace somewhere. Lleyzi really closing in. Tap of the horn lets him know he's on his way. Mobbin does appear back up to pace in the race. Again, another pap of the horn from Lleyzi, letting him know he's hot on his heels, trying to get him to give up that position. Ventura is holding third, but them two are side by side going through the tube. Crane and Ventura battling for position. Lleyzi a little bit too low is going to see Mobbin with the victory, I believe. Really unlucky stuff there from Lleyzi. He'd gone with an exceptionally low cut, just couldn't twist and pull the nose up in time. With Crane at the moment for the battle. Ventura just gained a little bit out of the back end of the tube. And Lleyzi, the same as Lleyzi, just a little bit too low. That does see Mobbin away with the win. Crane will cross the line. Lleyzi with second. As the points are filled in, just pull that across just a touch, can't see that anymore. 103. is just holding qualification just a little bit longer. Yeah, that was really unfortunate stuff. Both Lleyzi and Crane suffering a similar one there. Crane didn't quite finish. Does see himself take 4 points for the 4th place at DNF. Does see the points at 73 for Ruby to 103 from Low Voltage. So Low Voltage with a 30-point lead with 3 races left. It is going to require a big swing at this stage. I think it'd need maybe 2 DNFs in the top 2, at least 2 of the 3 races. We are on to higher and drier. Arwin Lexing Stars H200 remake, just a couple of foot higher. I do find that the gaps in the barrier between ramps is a little bit nicer as well. Makes a couple of the cuts on the track a little bit more manageable for my level. Just missed one. Higher and Mania. There we go though. That's why we trusted that the stunt racing community would have put bright weather on. So the track will start a little damp, but it should dry out by about halfway point in the lap. It should be almost a fully dry. Lleyzi taking more of the track than anyone. Looks like Crane with a little bit more curve than any. Lleyzi and Ventura getting nice, strong starts there. Ventura did jump and shoot up into first. Really strong throttle control. Crane up into second, handling the speed through the corner really nicely. Mobbin the smooth entry on and off the wall ride sees him up from 4th to 2nd. Crane a little bit wonky off the wall ride, did lose a bit of time to the wobble. As Mobbin gets a nice drive through that second part of the corner, gets right back onto the back of Ventura. Ventura though with the ramp skip pulls ahead nice and clean though, feathering the throttle on that little ramp, but it does give you a big speed kick compared to the standard track. That is the one part you really have to watch out for in general. Just feather your throttle a little bit as you're turning because it gives you an extra bit of turn. Yeah, this is the Arwin, it's Arwin Lexing Stars higher and dry, so I think it's like 5 foot higher, just so the waves don't interact with it. But other than that, it's a almost like for like remake. A little bit wider gaps between the ramp skips and the barrier, just so they're a little easier. But that's more to do with like ramp positioning and prop placement. Mobbin did lose some time this time, couldn't quite get on it as smoothly as he did last time. That did cause the line to go awry, but he's gaining nicely through the corner, cutting through the tubes. Really nice, collecting boost the whole way, just inching now away back from Lleyzi. Lleyzi no slouch. Crane onto the back end of him as well. Crane's out of nowhere. These two are really closing the gap up on Lleyzi, and then Ventura too, potentially. Lleyzi feeling like he was maybe going to collect the barrier. Mobbin takes it clean. Lleyzi, with that wise decision, does see himself up to second. Ventura, unfortunately, did come off the barrier a little bit roughly. Down to fourth, plenty of time still to make up. Best lap so far, 1:49. from Ventura that go down to the 29 on the first lap. Really nice stuff. It is a really nice smooth track. Like I say, the one place that's a little bit different from the original is the off the banked slope. As you go back down onto the track piece where you'd normally brick, there's a little ramp piece, plastic ramp piece there. It seems to give you a little kick of speed and extra grip. Nicely off the wall ride, but Ventura again really smooth, trying to close position back. Is just in second for now at least. Lleyzi though battling his teammate, not letting him get away too easily. But Ventura looking to try and close the gap back on Mobbin. Oh, Ventura playing it really risky with that tube entry. Seems to just get a little scrape off the side of it. We can of Lleyzi's monitor. Oh, Ventura, just the back end just kicked off. Lleyzi is through. Mobbin seems to maintain speed. Clearly got a nice strong brake boost on the landing, etc. Crane is up into third. Ventura was pushing just that touch too hard. Gained a lot of time, but then unfortunately just losing it a little bit after that bounce off when the tyres kicked back up off. That is Mobbin with 15 points. That's 2 race wins for himself, matching Lleyzi Ventura with 1 himself. Oh my god, keep clicking on the wrong part of my screen and then it loses all of my internet screens. That's right. 115 and 98 Rubicon. So the lead has shortened up a little bit, but there is still 17 points between two. We're on 2 through the city again, another Kanako back a track. Again, this one very, very fast pace. This one is held world record wise by Ventura at the 153.614. So I imagine you'd be seeing lap times of a second, maybe 2 seconds off that, maybe pushing right down in and towards it. Maybe just playing it that touch a bit safer during the 2v2 situation. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. It is hugely appreciated. We are into the final 2 tracks. All in Crane, a rookie. He's come into it very, very late notice, and he's no rookie compared to myself. I think a lot of us are rookie compared to you, Rescue. You'll have to help train your French boy up. We're all getting on the line. Lleyzi, strong start. Is there any chance he's potentially jumping just a little bit? Ventura in a second. Crayon nice and clean away to Mobbin. Fell a little touch behind. It does seem to be regaining some of that time. Like there was a slight disconnect from the track there from Crane. Crane a little bit rough into the tube, but he gets in nice and tidy in the end. Not losing out too much. Mobbin was able to come smoothly past. Nice low cut from Mobbin. Crane maybe not as sure of this track as some. Little kick and a bounce. He rides it. Oh, that was unlucky there from Crane. And where he's landed, at least he has caught the checkpoint. But crikey, Ventura as well, having lost some time on that wall ride. It is a tricky one. There is a slight bounce before it that you do need to give it a little feather as you go over. Feather on your throttle, don't input too much steering as you go over the little bump and then ease yourself onto the wall ride. Ventura going with the cut I hadn't seen with my own eye before. I will be trying to follow that up. And Crane going with the ramp skip I was fully aware of myself. It's really nice and tidy through the tube. Ventura though just beginning to ease away. We are going to move forward. I've got 2 tracks left and then I'll be jumping in to Pros v Pros. We are going to move forward there as Crane takes an unfortunate barrel roll off the track. We are with Mobbin, Lleyzi leading the way as they're about to head on to the second lap. Nice and smooth over. Mobbin, little dab at the brake, trying to keep contact with the track. Looked like he did fail to do so. Just let the revs stay where they were. Coming through the tube line, nice and smooth. You can see he gets down nice and central a little earlier than Lleyzi. Taking the line, nice and smooth. He's just angled the car. That's the way Mobbin's doing it, not feathering the throttle. I got a bit more aggressive maybe on the steering, not quite as skilled as these guys. My level need to feather the throttle. Coming through this cut again, nice and clean. Both taking it a little bit safe, not wanting to lose out on a silly mistake. But Lleyzi has gained a bit more of an advantage. The 2:21.037 so far from Lleyzi is the best lap as Mobbin get a bit caught up in between 2 curbs there. Couldn't quite get across for the boost in time. Aggressive turn initially, and then he's able to smoothly line the car up nice and smooth off the wall ride, easing the car through the corner. Crane is a long way behind on this occasion, unfortunately. The mistakes I've seen him on that first lap, 30 seconds behind Ventura. Nice and clean over the jumps on that landing. You can get a brake boost because the hill kicks up a little bit more. Apply your brakes at the right time, get yourself a little extra speed kick up the hill. But nice and smooth through the tube line. Mobbin's had a really nice run here. Lleyzi's just been able to lay down a little bit more speed ahead of him, and Ventura with the 1:55.268, 3 seconds there off his own record. Mobbin, unfortunately, is going to require the respawn before the tube. That has seen Ventura past. Ventura must be flying, is all I can say. Got a bit of ground to make up. Mobbin in for the barrel roll, a loop skip, gets it clean, collects the checkpoint. in for that ramp skip again off the tube wall, nice and tidy, high up on the blue platform. I just wasn't 100% sure how much of the track was left, so I didn't want to be swapping about too much. I've been very unlucky to get caught out where he did with the wall ride. Again, may be a spot. See a bit of a replay. We have seen Ventura have a bit of a mistake too that has allowed Mobbin really up in second place. Lleyzi has finished first. Mobbin gets second place. Ventura is in third. Don't know. Crane is quite going to have time to finish. That was an interesting line there. No, he isn't. No, unfortunate there for Crane. I think has fully put it out of reach into the hands of low voltage. It's 148 in their favour to 114. Is the final track of the 1v1 as it stands. Like I say, we may see a replay or two on the tracks. The points difference is a bit high. Robin trying to fire Crane up a little bit for the final race. Crane sleep too, like all my teammates sleeping. No, Crane did get a bit unfortunate with the way he came off the bull ride, and then the frustration maybe kicked in a little bit more. That brick off at the first bull ride was not very nice to Crane. Just about to see it again myself. Oh no, that was Mobbin's one. Nothing clean. Second lap. This is H400. And then there is also the potential, I know Lleyzi has got exams. And Crane, honestly man, don't beat yourself up a lot man. Like earlier on in the playlist you were really keeping up, and then frustrations just got to you a bit as a couple of mistakes had come in. Like your hot lapping yesterday's clearly done you a bit of service, you know, you've clearly taken a little bit of a level up, not too far off the pace at all, considering you'd done, I'm guessing, not too much warm up for this anyway, because you weren't down to racing it, not practice the tracks. Like, don't beat yourself up. If there is the chance that these guys can replay the match next week with Jacob, then they will. With Jake. Otherwise, this result but Crane, if you want afterwards, send me a message and that, because like you're a really good lad and a good racer. It's just about finding that right little balance. Like some of these guys can just knuckle in and focus that little bit harder. and we have to accept our level just a touch. Try and break through it all the time, but like never beat yourself up either. Like it's a very important thing to do. Let go of frustration. Mobbin and Crayon, we are gonna come back through to Mobbin. It is his track. Oh, that's Crayon. He's sticking here for the cut. It's lovely and low. Ventura's was, oh, it was Mobbin's that was low. Mobbin trying to go with a bit too much risk. He's now got all the work to do on his own track, and again frustration just creeping in. Wishing his teammate, initially Jakechaboy, was awake. We do fully understand that there's no massive judgment on that either. It is, what, 7:30 for him now? An hour and a half into the playlist sort of time frame. Ventura leading the way. Crayon is up into second, gaining really good speed there over Lleyzi, shortening the gap up on Ventura 2. We saw a 1:33. That'd come down to the 1:13.493 from Ventura. Heavy on the brakes, nicely through the corner and passing through that little gap. Clean, tidy, Lleyzi as well, makes it through the cut. It will swing back on the map as Ventura is just easing away. Maybe trying to apply a bit of pressure to that Alex world record. 1:09.3, some pressure is being applied. I know Alex is down at like a 9.1. Nice. I have a 1:10 flat in a public lobby not too long back. Yeah, I think I was in that lobby. Like you've all, like I was always saying, just before you went to PC, you'd really taken a step up anyway. Like, I'm not overly surprised to be seeing. Like, I was a little bit surprised to see you doing so well so quickly. Like, you didn't really seem to need much adjustment time to PC, but like you were really keeping up with Alex and stuff, stepping up into that top tier racer. Right, and I'd known you since you were like racing me and I was character switching you around a checkpoint because you were running all goats and GtaV. I remember them days, unholy. Ventura unable to ease it down any further. We are sat with Crayon. He wasn't able to improve his 10.5. 10.9 from Lleyzi and the 11.2 from Mobbin. He's got some time to make up. Mobbin. No, it's like it was just like I had to send you a message because I was streaming it and that, and I was like, I'm sorry lad, I was doing it for stream. I saw the old goats and GtaV. But like me and you back then, we used to enjoy racing with each other. Like I was a little bit more consistent on PlayStation, and you weren't quite as quick as you are now, but like you've so stepped up. And it shows that with that bit of practice and focus, like even someone of around my standard at the time can knuckle in and reach their potential. So like you've had, like in my eyes, a really good progression story. Glad to have been a little bit of a part of it with the goats GtaV, and then helping you get your car set up on PC. Mobbin coming across the line. Ventura does take the race win. Lleyzi is gonna be the sweatiest boy in the lobby with 3 race wins. Mobbin and Ventura taking 2 each. And unfortunately unable to take one, but as I did say very well earlier on in the playlist, keeping very nicely in the fight, carrying his weight, just letting the frustration get to him a little bit too much as the mistakes and rockstar bullshit crept in. But mobbing, as we did say, like this, the result will sort of stand. If you want to chat about a couple of tracks that could be replayed, but the points difference is quite big at the moment with the way it stands, it wouldn't make too much of a difference. But then at the same time, if Jake is available next Saturday and can be up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, like Lleyzi might be available on the Friday night again, sort of thing, 'cause that's not exam period, even in France. So I'll leave that down to you guys to chat, and we chat like I can be available to commentate if it is. But that was a really good 2v2 to commentate on. The custom stunts as well, really refreshing, really nice to be able to talk about. Like, I do fully understand that some people don't like them, but it is something that will be involved in some more of the tournaments going forward as well, so do get used to it a little bit. Like, they are as good or better than the Rockstar tracks, so there's nothing to complain about. It's just getting to know them, really. We've had 3, 4, 5 years of experience, depending on different people's cases, on the Rockstar stuff, and we're looking at giving you good time frames. Like, the verified tracks are the ones that will be Rockstar treated, so they're the ones you need to practice, and you can turn anything else down going forward, sort of thing, for now. But it will go towards full crew battle mode, where as long as you can drive the track without bricking too much, then you have to say yes a little bit too. So thank you all for tuning in, Mobbin and Crayon. Unfortunately, at the moment, we'll see how it goes and the way it plays out, but you have lost tonight's matchup. Massive congratulations to Ventura and Lleyzi. Low Voltage themselves are progressing forward. Let me just pull up this other image and see if I can work out who goes up against who. So Low Voltage go forward to face Astralis. Can't remember who is in that team at the moment. We have Palm Racers versus Batman and Robin as well. So that's Fat Neek and Nicox versus GGMOBBIN, Goggles and Heredia. From round 2, we also have Tom and Jerry v Forza. That is Official, and Araza v Kino and Pinky. And we're also looking at getting Crow Zombie and Nacho to face off against the Bang Bros. So we do still have a couple of round 2 matches to come. We may see a rematch on that. I know Sugar Babies and it's Tyrese. The Tyrese are looking at getting theirs done, and any of the other 2v2s in the losers bracket, if you do want to play your match out, get in touch and we'll look into getting that commentated. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Mobbin, is there anything you would like to say before you and myself separate ways this evening? I think he may have... Oh, I was just saying, is there anything you'd like to say before we part ways this evening? Just before I end the stream and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and Mobbin, with you maybe not being so much on the race table, we might be able to see you get involved in potentially a little bit of colour commentary. A little bit, you know, pro commentary. So if there's only, like, so if it's only me or like an Alex available, but you can be there as somebody that I can come with questions, who knows a little bit more about some of the mechanics and actually add some actual weight to stuff I'm trying to teach people. It won't just be me waffling on. Yeah, that's it. But no, that's awesome. Thank you so much for putting all of this together off the back of it, Mobbin, and we will carry on forward through the competition. Again, congratulations to Low Voltage, and goodbye everybody. Oh, it's warm.